All right. Two more. The main event, Dragunov, our boy, Christian Bale.
Our man.
Versus Tony D'Angelo. Or rip off. Come on. What do you want
Donnie?
to say? Sopranos.
Okay.
Come on.
Just an Italian. The stereotypical.
I really hate his gimmick. Dragunov, I'm happy Dragunov won. He won. That's exactly who they thought about putting him to the roster, but they're not thinking about putting him up for a year. I'm sorry, Tony. I'm not into your gimmick because I think your gimmick is everything what I hated about Vince McMahon coming up with gimmicks. Yeah. It's just things we've seen on the same shit we'd see in like other past like 90s gimmicks. And I think, Trevor, when you see this guy, you would be disgusted.
Because, I am, and I haven't seen him.
Because tell me why, like this is for you, but tell me why The Sopranos and all those movies, why it's hard to like we see movies and etc. like all the gangster films. Yeah. Why it's so hard to replicate what they used to do back in the 90s and 80s? What's so tricky about when it comes to characters like that?
The funny thing is like people are like, "Oh, this is really cool." Well, no, they're not cool. They're pieces of shit. But I mean, they are made for entertainment.
Yeah.
But they're pieces of shit. And then like people who create characters like that are idolizing it and just taking the stereotypes from it. And it's like, no, like the reason people like the show is like, I mean, yes, they're charismatic people, but also it's like people realize that they're shitty people. Like you just, and it's just kind of like that. It's like, you need to understand that, like, yes, the TV shows are great or the movies are great, but you need to understand that you can't just like put a stereotype and any like something stupid like that. Like Vince McMahon did a lot of racist shit, and that's more of the same from what I'm hearing about this dude. Is it's just stupid stereotypes.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I got nothing against the athlete, because I saw one movie where he did a backflip. I was like, what the fuck? Like he had his opponent and he like went the other way of him and caught him. That was probably the most cool thing I saw. But the thing is with me, and the way you're saying that, he was a heel, which made sense, and now he's a face. Shouldn't they be dicks in a way?
Yeah.
I know they're like, they obviously changed, and we think of The Godfather, they go back to being kind of a good guy.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're shitty people, right?
They're not good people.
I'm not a fan, because I know it's something you would hate when you watch this guy. He's a good athlete, but he needs to get rid of this stupid gimmick.
That's like saying if you're a dictator and like your people are like, "Oh, hey, thank you for saving us," but then they're killing a bunch of other people that aren't them. That's essentially, I mean, that's a very, very extreme example, but it's the same thing. It's like, oh, cool. Oh, you're North Korean? Yay. North Korea. I don't know, but something like that. It's just like something kind of like that. It's like, why exactly are you happy about this when you shouldn't be?
Here's the thing. Let me explain to you the highlights I have of the match. You ready for this? Because I actually laughed at this. The Don, named him, got an introduction in the style of the Sopranos opening. Channing Stacks, his little sidekick, whatever. Yep. Lorenzo handed D'Angelo, that guy, brass knuckles, but the Don refused to use them. Dragunov kissed D'Angelo, seemingly calling the end of the match, which woke up the Don for a major comeback. The Mad Dragunov, sent the Don through the announce table with the H-bomb, which was very cool, by the way. Then hit a diving senton for a near fall, and then two men shook hands afterward with mutual respect.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You see where I see the characteristics in that. It's like,
it just,
no. I do think it's really extreme how they like, when they're ready to call somebody up, like, oh, just give him the Tony. He'll throw him off a cliff and die, or possibly die. You see, like, stuff like that.
Shit
like
that is just
a little
like,
extreme, but like, what the fuck?